I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and it's time to get wealthy. You're going to learn exactly what you need to do to turn your income into wealth and achieve the level of success that you desire and that you deserve. So, did you get that college degree thinking that it was going to lead you to that six-figure income and financial success? Maybe you got that first job and you worked really hard and you thought you were going to get that tap on the shoulder and that it would lead you to promotions and higher income. Here's what I want you to know. After coaching thousands of people, here's what you need to do. You've got to take ownership of your success. Staying in a job too long and settling for that 2% increase every year is not going to lead you to the financial promised land. What you need to learn how to do is make the shift from earner to owner, and that's exactly what you're going to learn how to do. So the three things they don't want you to know about what it means to achieve financial success is that you have to know your worth. You can't settle for what someone is going to give you. You've got to take ownership and be prepared to make some smart money moves. You've got to own and not rent your future. You can't wait to buy that first house or start investing in your 401k. You've got to start making moves that, and last but not least, are going to increase your net worth. And when you do that, you're going to make better financial decisions. And that's exactly why I'm excited to be having this conversation with Charity Davis. She did the exact steps that I'm sharing with you today, and she was able to increase her income and begin her journey to wealth. And so I'm really, really excited to have Charity join us today. Hello, Charity.
Hello.
Well, it's exciting. I'm excited to have you here. But for our audience, just tell them just a little bit about yourself, your background, where you grew up, and what some of your aspirations have been.
So I am born and raised in a small town in Kansas called Hillsboro. And I had aspirations of, I think like many, going to college, earning a good living to take care of my family. I ended up having a child at 18, but I decided I might talk with my parents and said, I still want to go to college. I still want to do these things. And they supported me 100%. So I went to college. I had a degree in business, emphasis on entrepreneurship and minor in business management. And then I graduated and needed a job. So I didn't start my business like I thought I was going to at that time, and ended up in the securities business and wanted to find mentors in that realm. And so oddly enough, I was looking in the Essence magazine, and lo and behold, there was Deborah Owens featured in the Essence magazine. And I said, hey, wait a minute, this woman went through this industry just like I did. Let me call her. And you and I joke and say that I stalked you, which I did, and I found you. And I remember I was pulling in the gas station when I called, and you said, you know what, give me a call tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And I was like, absolutely. And then I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm on Central Time and she's on Eastern Time. Which one? I believe she means 12 her time. So the next day I called you, we talked, we found out it was all Providence. We entered into the business the same way. From that day, you have been my mentor to navigate through the business, navigate through life, and talked real with me. And I appreciate that. So
I'm excited. And that's why I wanted our audience to meet you, because they are going to see that where your meager beginnings, you're starting out a single mom, having that same mindset that you would get this college degree and that would be the answer to all of your aspirations. Well, what you really had to do to get to the other side, to be able to build a six-figure 401k, was put in mindset, strategy, and execution. And that's really what I want our viewers to understand, is that Charity, you heard her story, how she started out and was trying to figure her way out in the investment industry, and actually reached out so that she could get some assistance in learning what she needed to do to really accelerate her financial growth. And that's what it's all about. So you're going to hear how Charity actually used the framework around mindset, strategy, and execution to accelerate her financial growth. But the fact is that not only did she had to shift her mindset from earner to owner, she really had to begin to think about now, even though I done some of the things right, what were the things that I really needed to be put in place? And so I really want to talk next, Charity, just about, the kind of mindset shifts that you had to make in order to make that shift from earner to owner. So when we come back, that's exactly what we're going to talk about, is how Charity made her mind shift from earner to owner.
Let's be honest, as successful women, we're crushing it. Maxed out 401k and Roth IRA? Check. Aggressive savings and investments? Check. Yet, the freedom our success was supposed to buy can leave us stuck on the six-figure hamster wheel, watching retirement slip further down the road. There's another way. Get coaching courses and community at wealthyu.com.
Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
Well, welcome back, everybody, to Get Wealthy. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and today I'm talking with Charity Davis, and we're talking about how she made a mind shift from earner to owner. And so I'm really, really excited. I'm so glad, Charity, that you shared with them how we met, and the fact that you reached out and you said you were reading my book, A Purse of Your Own, and you said, wow, she started out as a registered sales assistant too. So I want to begin by talking about, in some of our earlier conversations, if you will, around your career. You weren't making much money at the time, and you really had to, I kind of challenged you around the things that you had to do. So let's start with specifically how you were thinking and what beliefs did you have to change in order to make changes in your career and the amount of income that you were earning?
Okay, I would say that first thing we talked about, I started off, actually, I was a receptionist. And so I was making, above minimum wage, but not much. And you talked a lot about, you need to study and get the licenses so that can help you to help increase your salary. That was one thing. And I just also want to say, you always pointed me in the direction of, the people say knowledge is power. And you always say knowledge correctly applied is actually power. So you helped me to apply the knowledge that I had and do it correctly and very strategically. And I think when you talk about knowing your worth and changing the mindset, you really did help me boost in confidence. I think confidence is one thing that helps us achieve our goals. If we believe we can do it, then we'll start seeing the achievement. And so you gave me the confidence to say, yes, there isn't anyone that looks like you in your industry. That's okay. I was there. And you were, for me, that mentor to show me that it is possible. If Mrs. Owens can do it, if she can make it through this industry, so can I. And so I kind of used, you're right, your book. I read it intently, and what can I apply? What can I apply correctly to my life that's applicable to my season that I'm in right now? And I think that definitely knowing that I can, putting in the work to study, to if you fall down, you get back up and you keep trying. I think that was paramount for me. You give me the confidence to know that even if no one looks like you, it's all right. You're going to make it through. And I appreciate that.
I love that. I love that you focused on, where it all started, right? And so much, and that's what I want everybody watching this to understand, is that so much of what we tell ourselves about what we can or cannot accomplish has to do with our own mindset. And if we haven't seen other people like ourselves excelling in the role, or if we're basically navigating a new path and we don't have anybody to follow, what are the kinds of things that we have to do within ourselves in order to gain that confidence? So when I come back, I want to talk to Charity just about another aspect of that mindset shift, and that was the confidence that she had to apply to actually pass what was a very difficult exam. And so when we come back, we're going to talk just a little bit more about the mindset shift. We're talking mindset, strategy, and execution with Charity Davis. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to delve a little deeper into that.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jackie Hood Martin, and I have a question for you. Ever feel as if your life is teetering and the weight and pressure of the world is consistently on your shoulders? Well, let me tell you, living a balanced life isn't easy. Join me each Tuesday on Black Star Network for A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie. We'll laugh together, cry together, pull ourselves together, and cheer each other on. So join me for new shows each Tuesday on Black Star Network, A Balanced Life with Dr. Jackie.
Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
Wow. Welcome back, everybody. We're having a conversation with Charity Davis, and this we're talking about making the shift from earner to owner. And Charity has been sharing a little bit about the mindsets, the beliefs that she had to have being in an industry where she didn't see anyone like herself and was not quite sure if she could succeed. And so, Charity, I want to talk just a little more and go deeper into that, because I so related to your story. And when we talked, when I realized you hadn't taken your Series 7 exam and that you were intimidated by it, you know, I shared with you my own experience. And so I want the audience to understand that this was a very, very difficult exam. You were a receptionist. You couldn't study all the time like many brokers when they come in as trainees. Talk to us a little bit about what the belief system, the belief change that you had to make in order to be able to exceed and study and do what you needed to do to pass that exam.
I would definitely say it was a family affair. I mean, I had a young daughter at the time. She was, I think, in first grade or kindergarten or first grade. And I wanted to be, you know, not just the mother in name title only, but really actively in her life. But I needed help. My family, my parents, they were taking her to other events and things of that nature so that I could study after work. And it's really about creating a community that's going to help you be successful, no matter who it is. If it wasn't family, I know that there would be friends or whoever to help me. We talked about it. Yes, you gave me the confidence to know it's going to be hard, but you can do it. And I think that using what you have. What I had was family. I had just graduated from school, so I did have study habits, but I had never done something cumulative. So that was what was difficult for me. So I used what I had. My sister's in education. She has the grand ability to take a lot of information and break it down even more than what was in the books. So she would say, this week, Charity, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And that's what I studied that day. And I had a mantra for myself. I need to study diligently, retain excellently, and pass exceptionally this exam to the best of my ability.
Oh, you've got to repeat that. You have got to repeat that, because you just gave a really important aspect of mindset, and that is mantras and really having belief in yourself. So just for a minute, Charity, if you could just repeat that.
Okay, I had to study diligently, retain excellently, and pass exceptionally. That's what was written. It was written on my mirror, to my in my car, on a book that I had, a daily devotional that I read every day. Wherever I was looking, that's where I saw it, to know that it is possible. And I had a support system of people telling me that you can do it. You can do it. And sometimes if you don't have a support system, you have to tell yourself, you have to look in the mirror and say, I can do it.
I love it. I love it. Charity, you are sharing mindset and the importance of it. And so that's what I want our audience to understand, why mindset, the framework of mindset, strategy, and execution is so, so important. Because before you can really take the next step, it really begins in the mind with your belief system. And what you just heard Charity saying, that is, she had to make the shift from just relying on that mindset shift that says that you can do it all on your own, that belief that you're supposed to do it on your own, make that shift to, hey, I know that in order for me to take it to the next level, I'm going to have to change my belief and really ask for help. So I really so appreciate that. And when we come back, we're going to go to the next part of Charity's story. And she kind of alluded to some of the strategies that she recognized she would have to make in order to gain additional knowledge and pass her exam so she could earn more income. So don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to talk all about specific strategies.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Like, wow, Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?
Welcome back, everybody. Is this not an awesome conversation or what? You heard from Charity Davis talking about the mindset shifts that she had to make to really allow herself to accelerate her career and her financial growth. And so now we want to talk a little bit about the framework, mindset, strategy, execution, but now we're going to double click on strategy. So with that in mind, Charity, you talked about some of the things that you needed to do in order to take advantage specifically of the opportunities that you had. So I want people to really understand the process. So when you thought about strategies for taking your exam and strategies for, being able to make more income, let's talk about some of the specific steps that you took, that you thought about you would need to take, if you will, in order to achieve some of your goals.
Okay, so specific strategies, I would say definitely just using what I had. I had the ability, my parents instilled in me to work hard in whatever is put in front of me, to give my very best to the Lord. And so in doing that, like I said, I was the receptionist, but my manager noticed, wow, this lady is not just the receptionist. She's putting forth effort. She works hard. And so I was in that position for only, I think, maybe less than a month or a little bit over a month. And then he said, hey, what about this sales assistant position? Now you do need to get registered, but I really want you to take on this role. I think it'd be good for you. And accepted it. And along with accepting that, I received an increase in pay to take on that position. And so it was, for me, just doing what I knew to do, work hard, and then be in conversation with those people that see the gifts that are in you already. I was already connected with you. I know that I had multiple emails going back and forth with you telling you, well, this is what they're offering. This is my next step. This is my next thing. And you're saying, okay, Charity, what are you going to do? I need you to be focused. I need you to, and you always required me to put action with something that you said, I'll tell you to do this. And then I was always made sure that I replied back to you with, this is what I've done now. So it wasn't a lip service, it was action. Like, this is what I'm going to do now. So I think you said changing mind. Mind is believing that I can. My pastor had preached this word once that I held on to, which was, I can, I will, I must. I can, I will, I must. And so that was in my mind, to know that I can do the next level of this job, to be a sales assistant, and I can, I will, I must get registered so that that can help increase my pay as well. And staying in constant communication and in my ear, hearing you telling me I can, giving me tasks to achieve. It was just those step-by-step instruction, and making sure that I did what you required me to do for that month or whatever that was.
Well, you know what, Charity, you said you dropped a lot of gems, and I hope our audience is listening. But something really interesting that I want people to understand, that I mentioned off the top of this program, was some of you are sitting back and you're waiting to be tapped on the shoulder. Now, you could do a very good job and you could work really hard, which certainly Charity is conveying that she did. But there is one other aspect to it, and that really is you taking ownership. So what I want, and we're talking about strategy, but specifically, Charity, I want you to share with the audience just about, even though you were sitting there as a receptionist, that you were taking ownership. And so how did you actually convey to people that you were ambitious and that you were looking to go to the next level? How did you take ownership of that?
That did start with conversations. I had an excellent relationship with my manager, and I think he knew managers are, they think in terms of being visionaries. So he didn't hire me, I don't believe, just to be the receptionist. He saw something in me then, but he had to find out, well, what do you want to pursue? And we had conversations about it. And so I wasn't afraid to say that, I'm thankful for this position that I have right now, but this isn't my final destination. And I think I was not afraid to tell him that. And I was honest about, wanting to advance my career, knowing that I needed to, but also I did the research. What do I need in order to get to where I want to go? I looked it up online and different places to see what are some of the things I need to be doing now, and also seeing what the next position, their job criteria, how can I utilize some of those, how can I do some of those things right now so that they can see, she's already doing this. Oh, she's already doing that too. Oh, she's already doing this. So then it was, well, you're already doing the work. Let's go ahead and give you the money and the title.
I love that, man. So when we talk about strategy, that's what our audience to know, that strategy is really, many of you are standing 10 feet away from goal, and that opportunity is available to you. But because you're not actively thinking through where you want to be, I don't mean like next year. I mean, you have to already be thinking about what your aspiration or goals are. And it's the difference between playing checkers and chess. Chess is being several moves ahead. And so in conversations with Charity, those were the kinds of conversations that we were having. But you see, she said it really eloquently. It's not enough to have strategy. You've got to put it into action. And that's why our framework is mindset, strategy, execution. So when we come back, I want Charity to share what were some of the things that she was able to do, what she executed on, so that you can see how she applied that strategy to get results. So I can't wait to have this conversation. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We're all impacted by the culture, whether we know it or not. From politics to music and entertainment, it's a huge part of our lives, and we're going to talk about it every day right here on The Culture with me, Faraji Muhammad, only on the Black Star Network.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?
Oh, this is an excellent conversation. Okay, folks, we've been talking with Charity Davis about mindset, strategy, execution. You heard her story. You're hearing her story. She talked about when she started out, she was a receptionist. But what did she have to do in terms of her beliefs and having the confidence to really navigate her career in an industry that you don't see a lot of people that look like you. And here you are, this young receptionist, and you have aspirations. You want to do something for your family. And so now we get into how she executed on the strategies to build and really achieve financial success. So Charity, thanks so much for sharing your story. And so now I want to talk to you a little bit about you're listening, you're asking for help, you're, leveraging your opportunity levers that we talk about a lot. So you have this strategy, you studied for your exam. Share with our audience just about how each step that you went up, how you actually executed to get to the next level.
So each step, I would say persevered because I needed to retake it, but I finally passed. And so that was the key into being in the level to earn a certain level of income. So execution was persevering, continually study and pass. And then I would say the one thing I don't know if we can go this direction, but I wanted to say that you had told me about investing in my 401k, and they offered it. And because I was looking at what I was receiving after taxes and everything, and I was like, I can't afford to do this. Does she not know how much they're taking away from me and how much I have ended up with at the end? And you said, Charity, you can't afford not to. And so making the decision then to say, you're right, I can't afford not to do this. I need to do it. And starting that journey and taking advantage of the matching from the firm, as well as putting in my amount. And after 1 year, I saw, whoa, I went from zero to this. I can do this. And so I think that was another taking the step to do it, taking the action, and then seeing the results over time. Oh my goodness. And then if I would have never done that, what I wouldn't even be where I am, because I would have still been thinking, I can't afford to do this. And you're telling me, no, Charity, you can't afford not to. And you were so right. And I remember emailing you, telling you, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. You were so right. And you just You were so gracious to me. You met me where I was and said, now come on up a little bit higher. And I appreciate that.
And you know, I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was the kind of first baby step. We all feel like we cannot afford to invest, that we're not making enough money.
Yes.
So talk to us. So that was your start. So what was the next, you know, goal that you had for yourself that you executed on?
Okay, so the next goal after seeing that, I wanted to have home ownership. And so I was putting money away, and I'll let you know, my daughter and I lived with my parents for 10 years. And so that was, you know, sacrificing. Yeah, I could have went out and got an apartment and did all this stuff, but I know for a fact I probably would not have said, I can't afford not to, had I had all those other bills. So the advantage of being with my parents allowed me to save some of the money and start putting it all into the 401k and my Roth 401k. And so that's how I was able to purchase my first home by using my Roth dollars from my 401k. And I was able, so my goal was I wanted to be able to provide my daughter with her own room. And obviously I have our own house. And that was in 2015, in July 2015, I purchased our first home, and she had her own room. She had bunk beds, and she's the only child, but she wanted bunk beds. So I made sure to get the bunk beds for her and had her friends over. And that was one of the first executing that goal. Had I not done that, I think that was probably, 4 years prior to, 4 years after you told me to go ahead and do that. That's the accumulation, the funds that came, and then able to use that to do the down payment on my first home. So that was very exciting. It's nothing like seeing the joy on your child's face by providing something that you said you were going to give them. It just took some time.
It did take some time, but I want our viewers to know you are executing. You are executing this brilliantly. And you know what was so interesting too is that I remember on Facebook you posting a picture of you buying your first house, and how exciting that was. But it doesn't end there, and that's what I want our viewers to know, is that the mindset shifts that you made, the strategies, and really looking at, you know, we all start somewhere, right? And we never, many, I hope you are listening to Charity's story, because what I want you to understand is that's what the conversation is about today. And that is shifting from, that earner mindset to figuring, to thinking that just because you got a degree that things are going to work for you. No, you have to take ownership. And the shift that Charity made was moving from earner to owner. But also, Charity, it did not stop there, because even though you used your funds from your Roth IRA, and you could do that without being there being any penalty because you were purchasing your first home, you also went further. So talk to them about how you've been able to invest in your 401k and the growth that you've seen in that even over time.
Yes, so definitely taking advantage of the matching, what we had talked about, and then doing a goal to get to the 15% of eventually 15%. So what I was doing over the course of time every year, increasing 0.5%. So my goal is to get to the 15, and I'll let you know that I'm at 14 right now. So 1 more percent, and then we'll be there. So over time, I was able to invest, putting in, if you receive a bonus, making sure that that's included, taking that to do the contributions into there. And so my goal for that was to have in retirement accounts 6 figures. So I reached that. And that was, I remember emailing you again, telling you, oh my goodness, it's such a good feeling to achieve the goal that I set. And you were telling me it's just keep on, keeping on. And I just really appreciate you always being there, always being giving me a message back. And I will say you called me your grasshopper. So your little grasshopper from Kansas, being sure to tell you what I've accomplished. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, here's what I want to say, and I want our viewers to understand, is that it is one thing to be exposed to information, right? It is one thing to have a 401k. It is one thing to have dreams. But what is really, really important for our audience to understand about you is that every step of the way, every time something was suggested, that you really applied that mindset, strategy, and execution. And so lastly, though, Charity, what would you say has been the most impactful thing that you've learned on your journey thus far around investing and really building wealth and changing your mindset?
I would say the most impactful, the gift of time, starting earlier, like just starting. I think that was one of the main things that we talked about, because we talked about what is one thing you can never get back is time. So taking advantage of the opportunity when you hear something, not just rejecting it. Like I could have rejected it and said, you know what, she really doesn't understand. I can't afford this. But I listened to wisdom. I listened and said, you know what, I can't afford not to. And then I saw the fruit of the sacrifice. Really, it was a sacrifice, but it was worth it. Just like sacrificing and living with my parents for the 10 years that we did, it was worth it to see the smile on my child's face, to be able to provide a home, our own home. Everything was worth it. So I think the most impactful thing is knowing that starting, just like you talk about, always just start somewhere, no matter where you are. I think one thing that from watching your other videos, you were trying to help others. They said they couldn't find the money to invest. And you were talking to them and saying, well, you have cable, you have this, I don't think that's a necessity. Let's cut the fat. And I was like, she's right. I need to cut the fat. Where can I cut the fat? And so just taking advantage of the information that you've given and saying, what part of that applies to my life and what can I do right now to start right now, and doing that, and then seeing after time how it builds and builds, and just say, I reached a goal, and then saying, let's not stop here. What's the next goal? I love that. You're always telling me, what's next, Charity? And what's next?
I love it. And what I really wanted to say publicly is how excited I was. You recently had another milestone in your life, and that is that you're a newlywed with a new family. So another part of the journey. And I'm so grateful you came on, and I know that you have enriched our viewers, and I so appreciate you coming on Get Wealthy.
I want to say thank you to you. I thank you for all, not just for me, but all the women. You always see the value and potential in us, and you've created a community of women that help fix each other's crowns and cheer each other on in our successes for life. And I am truly thankful for you for that. And I might have to, be away for a while, but I'll pop in and see what's hot on Mrs. Owens' mind today, and know that I'm going to learn something that I can apply. If not right now, it's in the back of my mind. I got that on for next year. I'm going to be trying that. And so I truly appreciate you so much.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I got to tell you, executed our mindset, strategy, and execution brilliantly. And we're so grateful that you came on Get Wealthy and shared your story with us today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charity. When we come back, now we're going to review, analyze, optimize, and maximize what you need to do to apply what you just heard from Charity's story to your own situation.
Pull up a chair, take your seat at the Black Table with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
Wow, that was a lot. But I hope you were inspired by Charity's story. And now we want to talk about not only how she executed on all of those strategies, but now what I want you to understand is how you can use what she said to apply it to your own financial situation, because the goal really is making the shift from earner to owner. And so let's take a look at how that worked in Charity's situation. The first thing Charity had to do was really analyze her situation. She wasn't earning a lot of money. She had to get a foot in the door, but she shared with you that she asked for help. Part of it was certainly reaching out to someone that she had in a magazine, but all around her, there were people who were there to help her and assist her in figuring out how she could achieve her next steps and how she could pass that exam so that she could earn more money. Next thing she did was really optimize at every point. Every time she got a new position, she told you, and she got a bonus, she was able to invest more. So she saw her 401k, even though she wasn't earning a lot of money, that grow. And then that was the fuel that she used to then start investing in a Roth IRA even. And then she optimized. She optimized those investments that she was making. And one of the benefits of that Roth IRA was she was able to access it because she was purchasing her first home. And so that allowed her to really, as she shared, help her achieve her dream of allowing her daughter to have her own bedroom. And so all of you have that opportunity to analyze where you are right now, to look at what the things that you can optimize that can get you further faster, and then to maximize on everything that you have available to you. And so remember, analyze, optimize, and maximize. If Charity can do it, you can too. And so here's what I want you to know next. Next, I want you to know the 3 things that you want to take away from today's show so that you can really apply what you're learning. We'll be right back. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show, Get Wealthy, focuses on the things that your financial advisor and bank isn't telling you, but you absolutely need to know. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network. So, welcome back. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and we're getting wealthy. So here's what I want you to know. Here are the 3 takeaways, the 3 things that you need to know from our conversation around making your shift from earner to owner and all the nuggets that Charity shared. First, you got to take ownership of your success. Do you see how Charity did that? Really looking for opportunities and conveying to the people around her that she wanted more opportunity and to earn more money. Secondly, sometimes it requires you to move to opportunity. So do not think by staying in a role a long time that that's going to be your financial promised land. No, you've got to be willing to upgrade your skills. And then finally, and this is something that I all want you to understand, is that you've got to focus on increasing your net worth. And when you do that, you make better financial decisions. If you're investing in that 401k, if you're buying that home, you're turning your income into assets. And that's what it's all about. So we're all done for now. I can't wait for you to hear what we've got coming up next. That's going to do it for me. I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach. Thanks for joining us on Get Wealthy.